It is not the best orc map normally, but RaZZoRMan's style, we talked about it now multiple times, is very aggressive. Farseer, Shadow Hunter, fairly quick tier 2, and then mass raiders. Ensnares, 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 trying to kill heroes one after the next. Most Farseer players rely on tier 2 expansion and then massing with the TC. That's not RaZZoRMan's style. RaZZoRMan goes hyper aggro, looking for hero kills, and yeah, he has defeated Happy once before with that, but they have since met quite a few times in ESL Open Cups, in some other small cups, and there Happy seems to have found the answer. As long as our Emperor remembers here to not give too much of an opening to the aggressive Orc, it might be a tough game for RaZZoRMan.
You know, we talked about what if RaZZoRMan was finally the one to dethrone Happy and beat him in a big match here, even though it's just a group stage match. Honestly, 2020 probably would be the year. A lot of crazy stuff has already happened, still is happening, but I still think it would be mind-blowing if Happy was to lose here in this best of 3 here against RaZZoRMan, who, like we mentioned many times, he has this very aggressive style. Happy being aware of it, he can already start making some adjustments, but sometimes even that is not enough. All RaZZoRMan needs is for a couple mistakes, sometimes just one mistake. He forces a town portal out of you, and then the next time you get caught, he has ensnare, kills your hero, and then immediately from there, it's like you're almost already lost, because then he goes for your altar, which, by the way, if you look at the altar of Happy, it's a little bit more at the front, so gonna have to be careful. Could come into play later on, but I mean, Happy is known for his micro. Obviously, you can get frost armor if you know the opponent's getting a lot of melee units and trying to target down your hero units, and he should know exactly how he has to play here against RaZZoRMan.
Happy has very few flaws in his play just in general, as we've witnessed many times, very impressively. But sometimes it feels like he gets a little overconfident. Goes out on the map, creeps very aggressively, is forcing the TP, and still will go out and will be trying to rely on his micro. But that could be a fatal mistake against RaZZoRMan, who is going to have a lot of hexes and ensnares to work with. Anything other than hero kill or hero kill attempt would be a big surprise. But we're starting off with a bit of creeping first. Farseer gets up to level 2 here with the lightning shield creep. Well, I guess in this case it wasn't, because of good Acolyte harass. And Happy also creeping very quickly just with DK and skeletons, using a lot of mana already.
Yeah, RaZZoRMan, to put this into perspective, on the ladder he's rank 44 in Masters. So that's rank 74 overall with the 30 players in Grandmaster. Happy is rank 1, 2, and 3. Yes, he's quite the favorite here. Goes onto that camp here, gets the creep jack, steals one of the creeps, and he's closer to level 3 right now than RaZZoRMan is, but he's he don't have much mana left to work with, but it's not like he needs any.
And making use of the aura here, he is pretty fast, trying to minimize the damage. RaZZoRMan would love to trade hits here with the Fiend if it was to just stand still. Of course, he can heal up with the heal cells. Happy can only do so with the coil, and I guess maybe a ritual dagger. Tech though for Happy should be a little faster. That will mean the Lich coming out soon. But RaZZoRMan is not too far behind. And then we'll see how much he can do with his Shadow Hunter.
Yeah, like if the Death Knight can get level 3 easily, it's gonna be so much better for Happy here to have Deathcoil level 2 to work with. So RaZZoRMan needs to try and prevent that here for as long as he can. I'm curious what second hero he will go for, because I'm used of RaZZoRMan against human. And we see a lot of Fire Lords. Occasionally he'll throw in a Torrent Chieftain second, but against Undeads, I don't think Fire Lord would be a good idea. I think probably
you can't really push with it. The Fiends take it out. If you walk into the base, they all get slowed.
Yeah,
I've seen perhaps definitely dozens of games from RaZZoRMan against Undead, and every single one was Shadow Hunter second, trying to go for the Hex kills with the Ensnare follow-up, going for kills more and more with mass raiders. Anything else would be a massive surprise to me, and I imagine also to Happy, and we're gonna see it in a second. There's a peon moving out. No way.
He's getting Shadow Hunter, and it looks like he wants to expand.
What?
What was the quote again? Like the best thing a cheesy player can do is to play macro?
I guess so. He's gonna get level 3 here. That is gonna delay his tier 2 buildings quite a lot. Normally RaZZoRMan every single time, every single game, will go for double bestiary mass raiders. But here now, he's gonna go for an expansion on tier 2, which definitely should come as a surprise. But then again, perhaps not, because Happy is scouting it.
I would love to see Happy's face up on Scarlet's Expo. He's like, am I a joke to you? He has a lot of mana now to work with on the Death Knight, and with the Lich being halfway through done, he's sneaking around. I think, yeah, look, he anticipated perfectly the movement of RaZZoRMaN, went around on the left side, and he's gonna get an easy cancel on that Expo.
Yeah. Keon gonna fall here as well, quickly with a coil, doesn't waste any time. Happy knows the Shadowhunter will be coming in. And something we talked about in the break before, early Spirit Tower. Something you never really see anywhere, but when you play up against RaZZoRMaN, it might be a good idea, because he loves diving into your base, being very aggressive. In fact, it's not even a full wall off over here, so the Acolyte's getting pressured by the Wolves with a scroll of speed. One might be going down, the DK is still far away, seems to have misclicked the rest of the army, only busy with the Lich at the moment, and one Acolyte does in fact fall. The Ghoul also will be following, that of course isn't as painful. One Acolyte here missing is going to be quite costly, but tier 3 isn't too far away.
And that altar really took a lot of damage here. Sapper down the line. Could maybe blow it up, and then that's when you try and really kill those heroes. This one Grunt will get sniped. Goes for the Death Knight. Shadowhunter doesn't... I already used 2 hexes, so he doesn't have a ton of mana left, but that's still 2 more hexes that he has. And the second bestiary at home is about to finish for RaZZoRMaN. And I wouldn't be surprised if he re-attempted to expand one more time.
Now tier 3 is done, so we're gonna have the orb here coming in any second. Slow on the Farseer, he's in a bit of trouble perhaps when the coil flies, but he has a heal potion still. Of course the slow from the Black Citadel also helping out a ton. And again, hero focus is the attempt. Long range coil, but with a potion he survives. There's gonna be one ensnare. What's he gonna use it on? Is it not done yet? Oh, he still has to wait.
Yeah.
Perhaps he reads the timing there a little differently. Normally he always by that time has ensnare already, but because of the attempted expansion, it's much later now. And now, Happy's tier 3.
You know, if Happy hadn't scouted that expansion, by the way, and it would be almost finished now, RaZZoRMaN would be in a pretty damn good spot with Raiders being able to run around the map. Like, he's prevented Happy from creeping quite a bit, so Happy's like very low on supply. He's on 36 out of 40, so only now is he getting the additional ziggurats. And what do you even get as far as third hero here against this? Maybe a Crypt Lord could be good with Impel, no?
Honestly, anything is good, because this Orc army is horrible at fighting in the late game. The only thing it can do is hope to get hero kills to somehow win a fight. Mass Raiders are awful at fighting. Shadowhunter Farseer are okay-ish, but they don't scale very well at all. And everything here gets super hard countered by destroyers, which I'm very surprised that this destroyer form upgrade was delayed so much. But yeah, Crypt Lord can be good, Pit Lord can be good, Dark Ranger can be good, even Dreadlord can be good. Like, anything you want to play, you can play here pretty much. And you don't even have to go triple hero. Happy can just do this with dual hero as well.
Oh my god, RaZZoRMaN's creeping 2 camps at once. This is amazing.
Look at that skill, dude. Oh my goodness.
He was like, oh, I'll get the Shadow level 3 down there. He found a Belt of Giant Strength, by the way. That's additional hit points. I mean, not the best item, even though that might help him save his heroes a little bit longer. He's getting 1 Kodo now, and the 1 additional Burrow to go over 50. And that's where Orc is supposed to start hit and running a lot on the Undead base. And the Dark Ranger third, I guess Black Arrow can be pretty strong, because obviously he's going to be killing a lot of these Raiders. Like, they are the unit that dies the fastest, especially with Orb.
Yeah, also Silence at the right time can be very impactful. Disable the healing, disable the Hex. And of course, RaZZoRMaN isn't playing any Dispel of any kind. It's just Mass Raiders and 1 Kodo.
This is so weird. Like, RaZZoRMaN played a lot less aggressive than we all thought he would. And Happy, I mean, played safe, right? He crept small camps here after finally chasing RaZZoRMaN out of his base. He did the small Murloc camp, then he did the Goblin Merchant. This is so weird to play this Mass Raider style with this much creeping. He's now level 4 and 3. RaZZoRMaN goes to 57 supply, 2 more Kodos. He's gonna have 3 Kodo, and there's only 3 Fiends.
Alright, just eat them up, snack them up one by one. Question though still is, how is he gonna deal with the destroyers? They cannot be eaten. They can be ensnared, but what's the source of damage against
Some Bat Riders, maybe.
I wonder.
Imagine if he ensnares all the Fiends, eats them, and then while they're in the bellies, there's nothing left that can web those Bat Riders. They just fly in, they blow up the destroyers, and then 2020 will be complete. It still lose to the heroes, by the way.
Happy moving more destroyers, as we mentioned. Nothing that can really deal with them. DK even played it super safe, going for Death Pact, going for Invul, going for double gloves, or gauntlets it is. Happy knows he has to keep his heroes safe, that's the most important thing. Off we go. End snares, speed scroll, one Kodo does get off a Devour, and the second one as well. Not a bad start here at all. Third Kodo comes in. The statue has been taken out, very importantly. Next Kodo, though, doesn't get off the Devour, and one has already been taken out. Heal scroll from the Orc side. Next Sword of Speed, trying to reposition, trying to save these Kodos at the same time, and that works. One of them, though that one's out of the fight. Fiend starting to fall, Lich in trouble, but there is the Invul. Well-timed Hex, and oh my god, this is actually kind of working out for RaZZoRMaN, but what happens when the heroes start taking over is the question.
Yeah, Happy's almost out of mana on the Death Knight. He's got one Death Coil left. He's gonna need that for the Dark Ranger now. Those Raiders still going to work on those Fiends. There is a bunch of them left over. One of the Kodos barely escaped with 19 hit points. He needs to get home, actually, because otherwise he's gonna get found in a second. TP gonna be transferred onto the Lich, and Happy will be getting out after killing basically almost the entire army of RaZZoRMaN except for 5 units. And that one Kodo is still stranded on the other side of the map.
Oh. Run back, little friend. Okay, there we go. We'll make it back home. I must say, that was less of a disaster than I thought it was going to be. Almost got the Lich kill, but of course the Invul was there, got a few Fiend Devours, got the statue, and even forced Happy to TP back. However, it still was a Happy favored fight. He still killed more, and he's of course scaling way, way, way better into the late game. Now he's level 3 Lich for the level 2 Nova. Now he's level 2 Dark Ranger to have silence as well from the start. And if he gets the red camp, that's a lot of experience and a big item.
Yeah, finding the flute was really amazing here for Happy, and I like that after a fight like this, he just gets 2 statues, of course, and then he replenishes everything, whether it's hit points or mana. You don't want to re-engage without much mana. RaZZoRMaN anticipating where Happy's going to be. He was scouting with wolves at the bottom. He's like, oh, you're probably going for the granites. So he's going to try to get on top of this, but he doesn't have as scary an army as he did before. Only the... Actually, well, he has still the 3 Kodos. But no counter to destroyers.
Instantly, yeah, it's too much dispel here, and the destroyers can absolutely not be dealt with. Some Fiends are falling, but the rest of the army now seems to be fine. Coils flying, Kodos dying, RaZZoRMaN plummeting in supply. He had one fight to make it work. That was the last one. The one before this, I should say. And that didn't exactly work out. Happy weathered the storm. Well played. And 1-0 for our champion.
Whew, that was indeed closer than expected, I would say. Happy definitely showing some respect, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Played it safe. Good scouting. Skeleton scouting from these top undeads, always on point. He knew when the opponent was creeping that he was safe to creep himself. He was scouting for that expansion, which, honestly, almost never you have to do against RaZZoRMaN, but Happy plays it safe, dotting all his I's, crossing all his T's, and yeah, in the end, of course, outplays that strategy.
And it feels like, you know, the expression respect is earned. Usually, RaZZoRMaN, it teaches people respect by, you know, no matter how good you are, you've lost 1 game or 2 against him. Infi had the misfortune of meeting RaZZoRMaN in an Orc Mirror and Twisted Meadows. I'm pretty sure he had no idea who RaZZoRMaN was. After that game, RaZZoRMaN had Infi's respect because RaZZoRMaN won. So, yeah, his unconventional style takes him places, and Happy, like, he really had to respect it. Like you said here, he did that, and he gets the solid win in map number 1.
Yeah, and maybe we have to respect RaZZoRMaN a little more, because in the qualifiers, he took down Enter, he took down Please, and those performances were really impressive. Enter said yesterday in the ESL Microsoft broadcast that he didn't play many games, but still, there was some impressive victories right there. And let's see.
Please actually beat the Muslim as well.
Yeah.
So Please took out one of the guys that was at the last DreamHack Summer in the main tournaments, and then RaZZoRMaN took that guy out. So definitely a strong performance for him to qualify.
Yeah. Quite impressive, honestly, how RaZZoRMaN got in here. You know, when you play against him on ladder, I've been there as well. You feel like, you know, once you know his style, then you know what to do, and then it's never going to happen again. But sometimes it still does, and even on this higher level, it still does. I'm sure Enter played against him before, Please played against him before, and you're supposed to be able to counter it, but it's always this test of how solid is your play. I thought there was a very interesting comment from Hitman, who actually said he likes playing against RaZZoRMaN because, in his opinion, it's a test of how solid your build is. How resilient is it against weird, cheesy strats, very aggressive play that is rarely seen? How much can you rely on your build being solid enough to even win a game like that? And that's what RaZZoRMaN does. He tests how solid, how reliable your play is, and Happy's certainly was solid enough for the 1-0 victory, as we will now move on to our second map, which is going to be Northern Isles.
Yeah, Happy's map choice. I feel like this is set in stone for almost all of the matchups against every player. Happy, Northern Isles, that's the thing.
Yeah. And I wonder if he chooses it because he really feels it's the best map for Undead and for his style, or is it just the map that he's feeling most comfortable on? It might be a mix of two.
Do you have the second game up, by the way?
No.
Okay.
Not yet. I thought it was coming. I was trying to give it the alley-oop, but...
I already refreshed 50 times, so...
Yeah, I know that feel. All right, we do have some time here, of course. As you guys know, we have 3 more games here after this one and the American region as well, where we will be joined by Carson. So, long day of Warcraft. You don't have to go anywhere, fellas. You just stay here, you lean back, grab a Monster Energy because it's gonna be a long day, and enjoy some amazing Warcraft with us.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty hyped again about the America region, because we're starting to see more and more of the usual suspects there, and like Cruncher, one of my favorite players, is also going to be playing there, and it's still the story, you know, Hitman and Cruncher. Are they going to meet again in the finals? Is Hitman going to win again? And can anybody kind of bother that ranking? We got guys like Insup, Seiso, Kiwikaki trying to do that. It's a very fun region to follow, America. And my sleep schedule is always messed up, so it's easy for me to watch as well.
I had so much fun broadcasting the qualifier to them. It's just, yeah, that's Warcraft unlike anywhere else. They play very differently from the Asians. They play very differently from the Europeans. It's just, they developed their own kind of meta game where everything is upside down. So looking forward to that as well. And of course, Carson and Bidu are definitely a little upside down as well. But fresh.
Really as valuable to the scene as the players are, in my opinion.
I think that their cast has grown a lot on me, actually. I really enjoy listening to Carson and Bidu.
Even Bidu.
Don't tell Bidu I said that, though.
Ooh, how do you like
Carson
the stories that they're telling?
They're amazing.
I think so too.
Very Tastos-esque, if you ask me.
Yes. Todd's handshakes become kind of famous because of that. Famous also, our 2 players. And we go into map number 2. It's match points for the Emperor. His map pick as well. So can he take it home? Can he have a better start than in summer? Happy versus RaZZoRMaN, Northern Isles.
Here for our second map, certainly gonna be on a much larger one. Amazonia, you mentioned it earlier, Todd. It's kind of like a clock. It's really easy to creep jack. All the camps are kind of hard. It's called a death trap by some players because for aggressive style, it is very beneficial. You can always find your opponent normally. On this map, a little bit different. Lots of small camps, lots of hidden camps, lots of safe camps to go for. Is it a surprise to see RaZZoRMaN not veto this map?
Yeah, it's kind of like this map is like a flat earth with many avenues, you know? It's kind of wide. Not always the easiest to find your opponent or like creep jacking. Like there's a lot of small camps near Happy's base. It's like the perfect map for him to play against somebody like RaZZoRMaN. So if he just plays it safe. And by the way, one thing kind of surprised me last game is how much Happy fought when RaZZoRMaN was in his base with the Shadowhunter and his first few grunts. This is the one fight where, because you're on your side of the map, it feels like you're supposed to fight. But even in human against orcs, sometimes I had the same against RaZZoRMaN, and I thought, why even fight? It's just standing here in front of your base. Why don't you just sit inside of your base and wait until it leaves? It might be more beneficial, because then you're not trading units, and units scale better. They scale better later into the game. So it almost surprises me, but I mean, it's Happy. He had enough. It's not like he was going to get massacred in the fight. He did lose like one Acolyte and then some units. Maybe that wasn't avoidable for the Acolyte, but interesting nonetheless.
Yeah, losing that one Acolyte and also the DK not coming back to the main wood looked a little bit scary there, but not really anything more than just that tiny bit. Farseer coming out, beginning with some creeping as a shop at home. There is a really nice creep route you can go for as Farseer when playing against Ted Fiend Standard, which is run across the map and go for the green Murloc there right away, because this is where the DK will want to go for level 2. First at the green, at the Claws camp, and then the Murlocs after. And it's the DK who really needs level 2 much more than the Farseer does for the aura, for the movement speed and everything. But RaZZoRMaN, once again, is going to be creeping a little bit at the start. He wants to get those level 2 wolves as quickly as he can, and they do certainly help out against Fiends.
This Acolyte will have done so much damage to that Voodoo Lounge, by the way, because while it's building, it does take a lot of damage. So it's gonna finish at maybe slightly over half hit points. I'm surprised Happy didn't try to steal, actually, one of the Tusker with the Acolytes. He prioritized doing more damage to that shop. Later, maybe he can send some skeletons. It's always super annoying. Like, you have to repair that. You need to keep that shop alive. And this time, I mean, the base is built a little similarly to last game. You know, the Nerubian Tower kind of at the back. So Happy is still not that worried that his altar is going to get sniped or anything like that.
Now, we might see an early Spirit Tower once again, but I imagine first 3 Fiends, Lich, and Tech. That is what we call the Ted Fiend build. Slow in the early, sort of, but with skeletons you can still creep. And progresses very strongly into the late game. Very much unlike RaZZoRMan's strategy. Once again, he's pulling out a Peon, this time even earlier. Wow, this might be a mid-tech expansion. And here now comes into the equation the Acolyte scouting. And again, Happy is absolutely on point with this. Maybe RaZZoRMaN should have tried to designate one wolf to take out the Acolyte, but look at that timing. That's just ridiculous. He comes in to look exactly when the Peon arrives, and again, Happy knows what's up.
I think it's so cool to have a tournament like this, where you have like 1 match per day, and then you get to think about this matchup for a long time. It seems like RaZZoRMan's game plan going into this year is to just surprise Happy with some expansions, and Happy was just like, there is no way I'm gonna lose to this guy unless he really surprises me, so I'm just gonna scout a lot. And so far he scouted everything perfectly, and now knowing about that expo, he can just go there pretty much whenever he wants and get the cancel.
Good creep route here, though, by the Farseer. He's level 3 now to defend his expansion. Full mana as well. Fiends in transit trying to cancel the expansion would take a lot of damage, and the DK is not level 3 just yet. He didn't finish the camp. If he had, he would have gotten that level up. And now, RaZZoRMaN, I love that he's spreading out his units. He needs to find Happy where he's going and keep him back on his side of the map.
That Farseer has a lot of mana. 420 out of 420. Here we go. Chain Lightning. He has a lot of them available. I'm surprised he's actually attacking the ghouls. I would have thought maybe the Fiends would be a better target. But the Death Knight is on the counter attack here. Happy does not think that he needs his Death Knight at all for the defense. He literally only left his units.
Is that enough damage to get the cancel? With skeletons, and of course the corpses are still
With
here.
Chain Lightning. Oh my god.
Oh, this could be a lot of Fiend kills. Hell yeah. It's like a triple surround over here. Oh my god.
And he has
a
Speed
speed
Scroll
scroll
still.
as well. Yeah.
I mean, the expo will be cancelled, but at what cost?
They're just coming out soon. The Farseer got almost surrounded by that single ghoul over there.
He has greater invuln anyway. Would have been nice to have some salve here, but I think he might be able to kill just 2 extra Fiends here. I'm surprised he's not using more Chain Lightnings. Okay, Death Knight TP is back. Actually, he staffed. He had bought a staff, so Happy anticipated he was going to have to come back. The Farseer.
Can he get one more Fiend? Chain Lightning. Could get the kill over there.
But
Then again, the DK has the next coil ready. And at the end of the day, it was only 1 Fiend going down.
This feels like it should have been so much worse for Happy. I'm surprised. If RaZZoRMaN had done this a little better, maybe used the Speed Scroll earlier, I think he kills all 3 Fiends. And then we're looking at an Undead who has 1 Death Knight.
But Happy recovers nicely. And again, the expansion for RaZZoRMaN doesn't work out. Once more, this slowed down his production a little. In this case, it was less so the Raiders, more so the Grunts, of which, well, he still has 3. So it's not looking too bad. And we're going to have Raiders with Ensnare coming in soon. And Happy's tier 3 was also slowed down by this little level.
Yeah, RaZZoRMaN just used Crystal Ball inside of the main base before selling it. He saw that Happy was sitting at home Kind of the way you need to play. This is what I was talking about. If RaZZoRMaN is at your front step, at your doorstep, you don't need to move out. Just sit there. He goes Nova this time, by the way, because he already has 2 towers and he's camping hard, so he doesn't need Frost Armor. Frost Armor would have been for if he moved out.
Going into more ghouls. 4 ghouls. You're gonna transition to Frenzy, perhaps. Nova takes out the grunt right there. And without Raiders, it's hard to find any kind of kills over here.
Yeah, this is not gonna do much. Happy played very smart, just kind of sitting back and letting this just not really do anything. Should be able to save that one Fiend here. He waits for the coil until the last second. That Spirit Tower really come in handy as well. Oh, the Lich! Oh, he could have surrounded. Oh my god. And there was no coil. Now there is. Went for the mana potion. Happy always waits for maximum value out of that one. And RaZZoRMaN is just not achieving anything with this. He forgot to restart the expansion. He just has the peon standing there.
Hex is the DK, so he can't call it, but guess what? Happy has the heal pot ready. Damn, solid hold. Takes out another Raider. That shop positioning, the tower positioning, the walking around the buildings. Excellent play by Happy.
And great items, by the way, like Ring of Protection and Talisman of Evasion on the Death Knight. Like, you don't even want to waste your time trying to target that guy.
I feel like I've heard you talk about these items differently before, Todd. What happened?
Well, on an Archmage, I would just grab a Sig Bag, and I would not be happy.
Yeah, for the DK, it certainly helps, making him more tanky. You do have statues now. Orb, Destroyer Form soon, but first more statues. There's an expansion coming up again. That hasn't been scouted yet. RaZZoRMaN stole away 1 camp over here as well. Farseer is getting strong, but is also pretty much out of mana.
Yeah, Happy played this so smart. He lets RaZZoRMaN overextend, which is usually what happens when he comes to your base like this. And then now he's in a position where with Orb, it should be an easy fight. I don't think he's even going to lose a single unit.
Very hard for the Raiders to connect. Almost surround on the Shadow. Oh, he almost closed it again there with the Fiend. But the Shadow does get away. Now completely out of mana. However, wants to get that statue really, really badly. But with Frost Armor, not easy to grab. And Fiends, of course, can be healed via coil. They will not fall. It's the Farseer now surrounded. It's going to cost him the invul here, I guess. Here's the
Kill the Fiend! Oh my god!
Second Fiend, even. Second Fiend.
Unbelievable.
We have Frenzy Ghouls now, by the way. It is the Frenzy Ghoul transition here in the late game.
Actually, Expo is like well on the way now. I don't think RaZZoRMaN should fight. If you're gonna play Mass Raider style, just counter-attack, you know? Get a bunch of speed scrolls. We've all seen it, you know, there's a couple players out there, they're not very fond of taking fights, they like running around, getting fortified. Just go for it, RaZZoRMaN. Run around.
I heard about that as well. Some do have decent success with that. I'm surprised Happy isn't scouting more. I mean, the expansion isn't so hard to predict, and he would have had time to find another cancel right there, but instead he's creeping. Also, of course, very rewarding. Big item. Helm of Valor. Well, that is not that great. The Dark Ranger, I suppose, for her it will be okay, but at the moment it's only Lich and DK. Plus ghouls. Statue and Destroyer here looking still strong. And yeah, I agree with you. I think it's the right play here by RaZZoRMaN to go for this base lane with some pillage, probably. Not sure if he has it already. Nope, not yet. But Happy has a TP to come back when he needs.
Yeah, you have to come back very fast against 5 Raiders. Like, your buildings are gonna die extremely quickly, but he might prioritize killing all of those peons plus the Great Hole before coming back here. But Crypt is down
this
now.
Time. Not Death Pact, so he's super fast with these Frenzy Ghouls.
And by the way, RaZZoRMaN has no town portals, so as soon as there is a TP, he needs to speed scroll out of there. Oh, he's mismicroing a lot. He sends... Wait, he was killing the ghouls, but then he sends everything on the statue.
Oh,
and now some of these raiders are so deep. Oh my god.
Finally he gets it, but the expansion falls in the meantime, and then Happy will just TP back, I assume. Or is he trying to flex? Not even having to TP to deal with this?
He's not worthy.
Just walking back. Okay, here we go. Now comes the TP. Speed scroll. Oh, he doesn't have it anymore, right? He used it already. That's at least 2 losses. A little lucky, I guess, even to not lose more. But he did lose not enough, I suppose, here. RaZZORMaN down to 35 supply, stuck on tier 2. No expansion, weak heroes, trashy army. Rough game.
Yeah, I think Happy just adapted super well. What the? He's getting a Wyvern and a Coda?
Forces are under attack.
So he's transitioning. I guess he saw that there was not many Fiends. This is interesting. Imagine if he kills that one Fiend very quickly. Then after that there is no more Fiend and he has a bunch of Wyverns. I mean, of course, these undead heroes are still gonna be super scary on their own. And it seems like this time he's realized that Happy was gonna go again into more Destroyers. So he was like, okay, I'm not gonna go for the full Raider, because I'm not able to hit and run enough anyway, already having lost Town Portal and not having any more Speed Scroll.
A player's forces are under attack.
Oh, Happy, look at that. 41 supply expansion. I think, or what's the Acolyte doing here? Just scouting?
Yeah, I
suppose.
don't think he was gonna start it.
Ooh, there's no reinforced defenses, by the way. So a good old Destroyer push towards the burrows. Man, I haven't seen that in forever.
Please call in. Ooh, we can get this one Destroyer. Ooh, the Fiend.
The last hit of the Destroyer takes out the burrow, though.
Yeah.
Perfectly calculated.
It's kind of weird to go for a War Mill and not get reinforced. I guess maybe he didn't have the wood earlier in the first place, but now it's kind of like, okay, well, I might as well get it now.
A player's forces are under attack.
And, you know, the Wind Rider numbers starting to look kind of scary. Only 1 or 2 Wyvern the heroes can deal with fairly well, plus maybe 1 or 2 webs. But when we get to 4 or 5, could become scary. However, of course, now RaZZORMaN supply block for a long time. And Happy, patient, just sitting outside his base. No need to risk anything, I suppose.
It's kind of weird to see the undead being the one expanding here. It's kind of the world upside down, but I guess Happy just super confident at this point. He's like, well, as long as I have some high-level heroes, I make sure that I always have a Town Portal. I can just Coin Nova you to death, then Town Portal if I really get in trouble. The Expo is going to be scouted. Happy actually doesn't have a Town Portal right now, but I mean, he saw that RaZZoRMaN didn't have a ton of units, and RaZZoRMaN looking for the Cryptjack. But this camp is already done.
Yeah, it's not that many ensnares anymore, so hero focus isn't that easy. He's going for the Destroyers instead. Nicely timed Hex takes out 1 Destroyer. Well done. But look at those ghouls just eating these Raiders for breakfast. Oh my god. Kodo actually gets off Devour, surprisingly. He transfers over the orb, though. In the meantime, you can see the Wind Riders now feeling the pain. 1 already taken out. Second one will be following. The ghouls still going to town on these ground units. But the last Destroyer falls. However, we still have some left here, some statues. Unlike the Farseer, he's dead. Coil Nova after the ghouls put in the damage before. That's a hero kill on the level 4. Farseer. DK makes it to 5. Lich is level 4. Just these 2 heroes and 1 statue, it seems like, are enough now for Happy.
Yeah, beautifully done by Happy. He put the orb on the Death Knight as well. He was like, okay, I need some extra damage against the air because I don't have many Fiends, if any. And it looks like he's going to be able to secure the win. Well played. Called by RaZZoRMaN and Happy, the victor of our first match.